Rundown, January 18th. Portenoy says he has both mono and strep throat. That's probably because he hasn't been sleeping in a Lisa bed. There's going to be a link at the bottom of the rundown. You can buy your coupon now. You can use it whenever you want, whenever you're going to get a bed. It's $500. Beds usually start at $1,000. It's as good of a deal as you can possibly get. I need one. I was at my parents' house last night because I had a doctor's appointment this morning. I slept on my old fucking bed. It was the worst thing ever. I'm going to send them this, and I'm going to say, get me a Lisa bed in my room. LEESA.com, Lisa Beds. What's up, boys?
Are you
Great
fights?
job. Great job.
Did I say
That was so much better than Dave just going mattresses, mattresses, Lisa mattresses. Very, very well done.
I learned from you on KFC Radio, the best ad reader in the business.
Thank you, sir.
Spags is actually the best. Remember that one episode?
Spags kicked your fucking dick in that one time. But yeah, aside from Spags, it's KFC.
I still didn't even hear that. I got to go back because
he was like the guy who's hitting on a girl and like there's one key thing he wants to tell her and he just like blurts it out of nowhere when it doesn't even fit in the conversation.
There was literally no lead-in whatsoever.
Yeah.
First up, though, speaking of no lead-in, we'll just go right to LeBron. Last night, LeBron and the Cavaliers got so embarrassed, it was ridiculous. I actually watched it. That's how I turned it on once it was a blowout because I love watching blowouts. I like to see how bad they can possibly get. Like, that's when I really turn on a basketball game to see if they can hit 50. If they could go up by 50, that's what I was really concerned about. And that was a legitimate possibility last night. That's how bad it was. Dan, you have money on it?
Yeah, I did. Guess which side? It was so bad. It was so well. It was one of those things that if you're a gambler and you bet on if you take a bet and it's like a loser, then you want exactly what last night to happen. Like you want it to be an embarrassing blowout. I'd rather that than the Cavs lose by a few points. So I was happy. The guy picking his nose, the guy sleeping, that's perfect. And let me ask you this. I'm going to throw this back at you guys. This morning, LeBron wakes up in Cleveland, Ohio. It's like 5 degrees. He just got blown out by 40 by the Warriors at home. He's 100% regretting ever leaving Miami, right?
Dude, not only that obviously is horrible, but also the guy behind him in All-Star voting is Dwyane Wade, the guy he left Miami because he was dying.
Dwyane Wade's played the most games of his career in like the last 10 years. He's played like 39 out of 41 games or something.
And like, I mean, that was the LeBron can say he wanted to go home. He left Miami because he thought Dwyane Wade was done. He thought he couldn't help him anymore.
And to be the guy who ran Wiggins out of town for fucking Kevin Love when you're getting your doors blown off.
Did you see
it's just,
that Vine?
It's coming. Was it Kevin Love who was like literally running around the court? Like,
it's Carlos Boozer-esque. Yeah.
He didn't know where he was going. I don't understand basketball. I mean, I'll openly admit that. I looked at that and I was like, that guy knows as much about basketball as I do. He doesn't know where the fuck he's supposed to be either.
For Steph Curry to say that he wanted to see if the locker room still smelled like champagne, to throw him to the ground and nail the three the way he did, the way that both benches were sitting there like bored and miserable for completely opposite reasons. Like seeing Kyrie Irving just sit there, like, I mean, that was beautiful. I think it was Iguodala was like asleep on his bench because he didn't give a fuck about the game. It was a beatdown in every sense of the word.
Did you see when the benches were when like Curry was doing like the Tin Man walk or the Toy Soldier walk?
What was that? That was like a Hitler walk.
And then yeah, that was a goose step. And then there was when Curry put up a three from I don't know, a different zip code as he always does. And he didn't even, once it left his hands, he just turned and started running because he knew it was good.
Does that.
And then Draymond was in the bottom corner of the screen. And I don't know what this move was, but he did this. As the ball was in the air. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it's just like, they were literally dancing on the court when the ball was just in the air because they knew where it was going. They don't miss.
It has to be the coolest feeling in the world to shoot threes and just know they're going in. Not even, to just know that no matter what, when your release is that perfect and you know you nailed it, it's like, I don't even have to look. It must be the best feeling in the world. I'll say this, though. What the craziest part about the Warriors are? No one realized the Spurs are only 2 games behind them.
I know.
They played for the first time, I think, this week or next week. It's like, I was actually hoping that the Cavs were going to win just so that it would be 1 game, and everyone's like, you realize the Spurs could, and they still can very easily get home court advantage in the playoffs if they beat them head to head. But it's actually nuts that there's two teams this good and this much better than everyone else.
If two teams can win over 72 games, that would be.
That's not going to happen. I don't think
anybody's going to do it, to be honest. But the fact that it's even remotely possible at this stage in the season is crazy.
Yeah.
Did you see LeBron about Curry's champagne quote? That was maybe my favorite LeBron moment of all time. It was Costanza-esque. It was he had his pregame, or I guess during the shoot around earlier in the day, he had a little media scrum. And no one asked him about Steph Curry's quote. And he walked away, and I guess he told someone on the team or some media reporter or something like that. He said, I wish someone would have asked me about it because I had such a great comeback.
Dirt store.
That's like the most LeBron thing ever. Like, oh, man, if someone would have asked me, I really would have put him right in his place. But luckily, no one did.
The most LeBron thing ever, actually, is Dave Portnoy's LeBron thing this morning, where Dave actually believes that, like, LeBron is skipping shoot-around to post on Instagram. He's like, if he didn't spend so much time posting on Instagram, maybe he wouldn't have lost that game to the Warriors.
That's the worst.
Thought that goes in his head.
Because we like follow. I mean, obviously we all follow like a ton of athletes, and if you ever click on an athlete's tweet about anything, it's always like, "What are you doing tweeting? You should be in the gym." Like, it takes 5 seconds to do that bullshit. Like, you can do social media and still do your job. Every single person can do that, whether you're a pro athlete or a fucking farmer. You can tweet and still get all your work done. Next up, we're gonna have Jake Austin. No idea who this person is. I guess he's a Disney guy who was on Wizards of Waverly Place, which is a show. I don't know if it's still in existence. He had a chick tweet at him every single day for 5 years. They are now in love. They take kissy face Instagrams together. I don't know what to make of this story. Kevin, it was yours. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the guy, but he's worth like $5 million. So he's a big deal, I guess. There's an old adage that you never stick your dick in crazy, and this chick is fucking crazy. I think she's 22 now, so she's been doing this shit since she was like a little girl. It's weird, it's bizarre, and you know what he's probably thinking. He's probably like, this chick is down to do like literally anything, but to you smash that chick out one time, fine. To be in a relationship with her, posting kissy pictures, being like, I'm head over heels or whatever the fuck it was. That kid is, murder, suicide coming, restraining order coming. This is going to blow up, guaranteed.
That's where I disagree with what you just said. It's all or nothing with this chick. Like, you either have to say, I'm going to end up marrying this girl, or I'm never, ever talking to her. Because if you stick your dick into her once, you got to marry her. You have to marry her. You cannot break up with a person like this. It's not possible. He's signing his own death, sentence. So why would you ever get involved in this? And you nailed it, Kevin. Why can't guys do this to girls? Like, what the fuck? It's so unfair. I thought we lived in an equal society now. If I want to creep on a chick for 5 years, like, I'm now going to jail, not getting to date a celebrity.
But that's not even a joke. Like, you're going to jail. Like, yeah. The Twitter police, the eggs, the SB Nation crew, whoever it is we hate today, they would report you they would report your account as offensive. Like, the chicks would tweet that they don't feel safe because they don't know your location or whatever. We would be in serious trouble if we did something like this. But I guess that's kind of our fault, because a girl was smart enough to never fuck this guy. Guys are like, well, she's an easy fuck, so might as well. Next, Dan, you're not gonna like this. Your boy Harbaugh is doing dumb shit again, and I'm really sick of it now. He's climbing trees at midnight for fuck knows what reason. I guess because a recruit asked him to. Is that what this is?
John, I know we disagree on this. I think recruits are becoming savvy to this, and they know that Jim Harbaugh is basically your friend that will do anything that you ask him to. He's the guy you can dare to do anything, and he will do it immediately. So that's all this has become. It's like, yeah, Jim, you want me on Michigan? I bet you won't sleep on my floor tomorrow night. Yeah, Jim, I bet you can't climb that tree. And then he'll go do it. And then they're on Instagram and Twitter, and they're blowing up as the recruit that made Jim Harbaugh climb a tree. So I'm sad for Jim Harbaugh because I think he's getting taken advantage of, but it's also hilarious because I think we can push us pretty far.
Jim Harbaugh,
I think you're giving. Are we still lagging?
No, that was you just interrupting Kevin.
Kevin, go.
I think Jim Harbaugh needs to draw a line in the sand because, like, he looked like fucking Feitelberg when he was doing that Green Monster video, dangling from a tree. Like, at some point, you have to say, "I'm Jim Harbaugh. I'm the fucking best football coach on the planet. I speak, my fucking resume speaks for itself. I don't need to be doing, jumping through hoops for these kids. Have some self-respect, Jim. Jesus Christ."
I forgot about that fucking tree picture. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
I think you're giving Harbaugh. I think you're giving the recruits way too much credit. Like, blue chip recruits aren't really known as being the smartest people in the world. I don't think they're all thinking this huge plan to go viral by daring Jim Harbaugh to be the kid who drinks mashed potatoes and chocolate milk at lunch.
It's not the kids. I mean, they have friends, and the friends they have smart friends who are savvy enough, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Jim Harbaugh's coming to town tomorrow. Oh, okay, let's see what we can make him do."
He's got to stop. It's too. If you go viral every fucking day, it's too much. It's way too much. He's good for 3 a week. Again, talk about the people who get watered down. Jim Harbaugh at this point is pretty fucking watered down.
Saturated.
It's recruiting season, guys.
Next up, Benihana. This was the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen, I think.
I woke up in a new Bugatti. I woke up in a new Bugatti.
Tyrese has a full Benihana, I guess you call it grill, in his house, all by himself. Kevin, what do you got?
That looked like so much fun. I've never had anything even approaching the amount of fun that him, Aziz Ansari, and Andy Samberg had singing Bugatti at a fucking private Benihana in your own house. There's levels of wealth and levels of I'm fucking flashy and fancy, and having your own Benihana is right there. I mean, that's something that's such a novelty to be able to just pop down to your basement or wherever it is in his house at any time to do Benihana is incredible. I never thought of Tyrese as that big of a baller. I guess he's in the Fast and the Furious, and I guess he's got a shit ton of money. But the fact that even he has shit like that is it's awesome. The whole thing was awesome.
Dan.
First of all, shout out to Tyrese for going to Instagram now. I know he's big on Facebook as well. He's let us know about that for a while. I don't think has anyone ever had a bad time at Benihana or Rana Japan. I mean, it's impossible, right? It's impossible. So
Doesn't matter.
How
old you are. Yep.
Yeah. And you drink a Mai Tai, you fall on your ass, you smell awful for a week later, and it's delicious. You get that egg rice shit that they do, before the meal, and it's a great time. So if I'm thinking about what kind of restaurant I want in my house, I think this was the number one, right? It has to be. There's nothing even close.
I always thought that when people do this and they put this dumb shit in their house, like LeBron has a barbershop in his house. I'm like, why the fuck would you need that? That's so dumb. Just don't waste your money on shit like that. This is not dumb. This is genius. And I have a confession to make here. I've never even been to a Benihana, and I saw that and thought it was cool. I have to go to one tonight, I think. That was so awesome.
Now. Drop the mic and go to Benihana right now.
I've never
first
been.
Of all, they're just delicious. The food is awesome on top of it all.
Yeah.
It's an experience. It's fun. It's like going to a movie and getting a delicious meal all in one shot, John. This is crazy.
You sit with strangers. It's weird. You sit around with total strangers you're eating dinner with, and you're talking about stuff, and it's kind of awkward, but it's really cool. And I'm not joking, John. Bring an old shirt, because your clothes smell. Remember when smoking used to be legal in bars, and you'd come home and just reek? This is times a billion
How
for the
fucking old
Benihana.
are you?
What?
How old are you? No, I don't remember when smoking was legal in bars.
Kevin does.
I do. I absolutely do.
No, I mean, it was when we were 22.
All right, I feel like that was a long time ago.
But still.
Yeah.
Well, and the best part is when it's your birthday, and they do they come over.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Whole thing, John. Go and say it's your birthday tonight.
Next up, Lambo. Dan, you've had a lot of run-ins with car guys, most notably Johnny Manziel, and what did he drive?
His Nissan like Altima. He drove a Nissan and was like, dude, you don't even know what Nissan it is. It's the highest performance Nissan they have. Bro, it's a fucking Nissan. It's like middle accountants and like high school kids drive Nissans. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
But the Conor Macgregor bought a $500,000 Lambo that shoots fire out of the back. The fire looks like pussy little fire, by the way. Like it's just like little. It's like stuff you'd light a candle with. It's just a little. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It's not a big fucking huge flame.
So yeah, someone cleared that up. I guess most Lambos do shoot fire out the back, which is such a try-hard move by Lambos. The point remains, car guys are the worst. If you're a car guy, I just assume you dropped out of high school. Like you don't. If you genuinely like cars more than sports teams or anything else, I have nothing to talk to you about. And when you tell me about performance and how cool these cars are, they're uncomfortable. They look like you can't see shit. You go like 1,000,000 miles an hour. If you're over 6 feet tall, you probably can't fit in it. Just give me a regular fucking car that's comfortable and has Bluetooth so I can listen to my iPhone.
I've never seen a person who's obsessed with cars and can also afford that car. It's always one or the other. Like the people who can afford that car is like they're like, oh, I don't know how to handle it, or like I have a guy who I pay to take care of it. I can't fucking do anything with it.
Or someone who's obsessed with cars, who's like a regular guy who also watches sports. I feel like the car guy, Venn diagram has no overlap. It's just car guys are out here, and that's all they care about is cars.
If you won Powerball the other day, like what car would you get?
I'd get like a Rolls Royce or something that's not that fast, but it's super, super comfortable, right?
No, I wouldn't even do that.
I don't even think I'd get like an Audi. I'd be like, this is fine. I don't even think I would
That's exactly what I was going to say. I'd get like an Audi not a sports car, but I'd get like an Audi, whatever the fuck the normal Audi is, and I'd get like a Range Rover. Those would be like my two like fancy cars.
Right. I don't care about going 150 miles an hour. I don't live on a fucking racetrack. I just want to be comfortable. I want like the nice plush leather. I'd get whatever car they always show around Christmas time with the big bows on it, and and you're like, holy shit, this family's the hottest family ever. I'd get that car, and I'd be hot.
I think those are Lexuses. I think the Lexus is the big bow company.
Yeah.
Oh, and the worst car guy thing, by the way, is if you try to make fun of me for driving an automatic, get the fuck out of here. If you're like, bro, you don't even drive a stick, like, why would I want to do that? It's so much more inconvenient to drive a fucking manual than an automatic. Why? The world has progressed. Technology has advanced. Why would I do that?
It's performance, Kevin. You feel it. You can feel it in your hand. You can feel it in your body. It'd be like us telling like bloggers, like, if you don't blog on a typewriter, you don't know what writing is. If you don't write out all your blogs with a quill pen, you can't feel the blog. Get the fuck out of here.
Lastly, we have Portnoy, just like the old Port. I don't know. It's a 16. We'll call him 16-year-old Portnoy, the Patriots fan outside of or on Kansas City TV, who was. I mean, he was David Portnoy. He had his mannerisms down. He had like his tone of voice down. He had the whole fucking script down. Everything was Portnoy, and that's horrifying if there are a lot of these kids out there.
I've never been less worried about a football game. I've never been less worried about anything in life. I have not lost a minute of sleep over the Chiefs. I tried not to laugh when you said Alex Smith. The bottom line is it's Tom Brady versus Alex Smith.
Kevin, you're probably the most horrified because I think you hate Portnoy more than almost anybody.
No, absolutely more than anybody. Anything. It's just on this planet Earth. I want every Patriots fans to watch this because every time I tweet something about the Pats fan base, I get this response. Portnoy doesn't represent all of us. There are normal Patriots fans. Those assholes don't represent us. Bro, every time I turn around, it's Portnoy, it's this fucking kid, it's someone writing another article, it's a million people tweeting. Stereotypes exist for a reason. Your fan base is the insufferable douchebags because that's how they're always acting. So yeah, maybe it's the vocal minority. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. But every time I turn around, there's assholes like this fucking guy running his mouth sounding like a dick. So when I say the Patriots fans are dickheads, this is why. Get it through your head.
Dan.
I I'm just happy that what I've been saying for the better part of 2-3 years now, how Dave has this like group of high schoolers that repeat everything he says, the Go Prez Grow guys, and that's who he writes for. We have proof. And if I were Dave, I'd be mortified by that. To have someone like go on camera and copy me word for word, that's kind of scary. So whatever, Dave. I mean, I think you're probably happy that you have this whole army of people that can't think for themselves. It's a weird thing. I'm surprised he didn't say cunt. I'm surprised he didn't call Alex Smith a cunt.
I think one thing that's surprising to me is I don't think those people get that it's like an act. I mean, that it isn't an act. That's how he is. Like, I had multiple people come up to me at the Patriots game the other day, and everyone always wants to know, like, oh, is that what he's really like in real life? And I'm like, yeah, he's really a fucking asshole in real life. Like, it's not like a cutesy little thing he does for the camera. Like, he's a dickhead. That's not something you should aspire to be. Don't be a dick. Just don't be an asshole, whether you're in front of a camera or not. Don't be an asshole.
I just don't understand. I posed this question to him during the Pick'em podcast. I don't understand what he's going to do when the Patriots like aren't the best team in the world anymore, because it really is 99% of his personality at this point.
I think he dies. I think it's like his life force. I think he'll like slowly start to die as the Patriots get worse, and then one year they'll go like 4-12, and he'll die. He'll just drop.
I love sports. I love sports. I'm passionate about my teams. I want them to win. That blog he wrote on Saturday, he's a 38-year-old man, and he was like, this means more to me than anything in my entire life. I was just like, dude, you sound like you're 13. What are you doing? You're a millionaire now. You really care this much? If I was a fucking millionaire, I'd be like, yes, I want my team to win, but if they lose, I'm still a millionaire.
That's what's even funnier is like right now, you could argue that like professionally speaking, he's about to go on like the biggest, fucking journey of his life, and he's like, it's all about the Patriots. That's the only thing that matters to me. It's insane. He's insane.
Oh God.
All right, that's
what happens though, John? Seriously, what happens if the Broncos somehow beat the Patriots?
I mean, I see. I can't even say now what I just said, but like, I mean, I don't think there's a chance of that.
There's a chance. There is a chance. There's no way there is not a chance. Just stop.
Isn't Brady like not very good in Denver like at all?
There you go. I'm not saying it's a good chance.
No chance.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a good chance that the Broncos beat the Patriots. The Patriots are the better team. I mean,
Tom Brady has more touchdown passes than Peyton does in Denver this year, so it's not.
John, I'm telling you, if they play 10 times, I'd say the Patriots wins 8 times. But the other 2 could happen on Sunday.
I don't know what you're gonna say. I don't think there's a chance really. Okay. Yeah, okay. I guess like I'll take that and I'll say 99 out of 100 the Patriots win. I guess Sunday could be the one, but they're just not nearly as good as the Patriots are. The Patriots have everybody they didn't have before. They didn't have Edelman. I think Collins is still gonna play. I don't know. It didn't look. He's played one play after that injury. I was kind of fucked up too, but there's just not a chance. I don't know what to do. Like. What would they have to do? If Peyton hands the ball off 40 times, maybe they have a chance? Peyton can't throw them to victory.
Yeah, I mean, they do kind of what they did last time. They'll run the ball. They'll get a few turnovers. I mean, their defense would have to carry the day. I'm not saying that Peyton Manning's going to come out and outplay Tom Brady. We all know that's not going to happen.
I mean, last time Brock Osweiler put together a pretty fucking good second half.
Yeah, no, he did, but they were based on running the ball, and their defense played well. If their defense plays well, any team can win a game when your defense shows up.
I mean, but also when they base that game on running the ball without Jamie Collins and Dante Hightower playing, that's pretty easy too.
I'm just saying, if a defense shows up, any team can beat any team. That's all I'm saying. And
let's say, John, let's just say, for argument's sake, they do lose. Where does this rank as far as losing to the Giants in the Super Bowl? Is this worse? Is this not as bad?
No, it's not. It's definitely not worse. It's. I would put it. I
feel like it would be worse for Portnoy. I feel like he's staked everything on this one, right? You're just not as insane about it.
I don't know. I can't see how this is worse than an undefeated season.
That's true. I would agree with you.
It's not great.
You just won one too. I know the whole deflate gate and redemption and shit, but you just won one. Losing when you had a perfect season on the line is the number one.
I agree.
What do you got? Did you get backlash for your Dunkin' Donuts blog?
Just from some asshole idiots. Some people in Boston think like you legally have to like Dunkin' Donuts. It's crazy. Dunkin' Donuts fucking sucks.
I've said it for years. The coffee's awful.
But we're not talking about donuts, right?
No, I don't
No.
really. I've never really like had a donut from anywhere else other than Dunkin' Donuts. I don't think.
But you
But-
like those donuts, right?
The donuts. I mean, they're fine. They don't
Right.
fucking make my nipples hard, but they're
Oh
okay.
yeah, donuts. It's hard to fuck up a donut.
Right.
It kind of is. I mean, Kevin, you eat the Entenmann's trash like that's been sitting in a box for years. So
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure we're not talking about the donuts because their breakfast foods are absolutely vile. How about, have you ever had the chicken? The chicken biscuit?
I'd try.
Worst mistake I ever made in my entire
See, that's
life.
what I said in the blog though. They trick you by coming out with all these. They come out with a new food every fucking week. And
Kevin,
they
that's
trick
like
you into
getting
thinking,
fish at McDonald's.
Yeah, I know. It was. I remember taking a bite and being like, "What the fuck am I doing right now?" It was disgusting.
John, to kind of add on to your blog, and I've actually been meaning to write this blog. I just totally forgot. The fact that there's not more Tim Hortons in America drives me insane. Tim Hortons food is delicious, and the coffee's good. Every time I go to Tim Hortons, it's the best. I don't know why there aren't any more. Like they need to expand. I think Buffalo has a bunch. I know Michigan has a bunch because every time I go to Detroit, I stop. They need more Tim Hortons.
I think I've only seen them like on the road. I don't think I've ever seen
So
them anywhere in New York otherwise.
Blows Dunkin' Donuts out of the water.
I agree
Donuts
with that.
too?
I agree with that as well. I need
Yeah,
to stop with
they're
all this
the
though
same.
because the reason the Dunkin' Donuts blog came to fruition was because I had a doctor's appointment this morning and things did not go well. He was
What
like,
did they say though?
"Huh?
What did
Nothing.
they say?
It wasn't. It was nothing he said. I mean, I don't even know how any of my tests went really, but it was just you can just read a person's face, you know." And
Is this because of the sneezing thing? You were like, I gotta go get checked out?
yeah, well, I went. It was just like, look, moving to New York, haven't been to a doctor in 6 years.
it up, yeah.
Like, gotta just get everything checked out before we hit the road and get out of town. So, I mean, this was basically just a goodbye to my family doctor. Really, it was just one of those meetings. And I mean, when he walked in the door, he legitimately did like a double take.
Hold on.
like
Hilarious.
you
You still have your family doctor. Was there a fish tank in the lobby too?
No. It's not like my childhood family doctor. It's just like a doctor who like my dad knows.
Okay.
But like he like opened the door and then looked up and then like he like looked back at his clipboard to be like, wait, am I in the right room? Because it was you could tell that like he was like, you look like the person I'm supposed to see, but like a really shitty version of it.
Fuck that, man. That's how time works. Get out of here. A doctor should know.
Well,
that.
that's the thing. I haven't seen him since I was like 2021, so he's missed 7 years
Yeah.
of
Well,
drinking.
you
Like,
should-
last time I saw him, I was like a little wet behind the ears, college kid going to parties, and now I'm
Think about
drinking
this.
because I'm sad,
If
which
you
is a
if
different
you
kind of
brought
drinking.
like your fucking 2007 car to the mechanic, he'd be like, "Yeah, this thing fucking sucks. It's 7 years old." It's the same thing for humans. Why would you expect me to look like I did a decade ago? Of course I look like shit now. Come on.
John, I did the same thing as you. I went to the doctor. I went to the dentist, and so I have to get fixed. Personal record of mine. I only no-showed 2 appointments for the cavity, so I'm gonna go today. I think today I have it again. I made it twice. I always do that. I do the follow-up appointment for the cavity, and then I just don't show because I just freak out and I'm like, no, I don't want to do a cavity today. So let's see. It's in 2 hours. I probably won't go again, but as of right now, I'm planning on going.
If anybody's taking action on does Big Cat go to his fucking dentist appointment, I'll take some.
That was
It's a $25 late cancellation fee, no show. That's fucking nothing. You need
Free.
to make that a real punishment for me to actually show up to my appointments. Like make it $500 and then I'll show up. $25. I'll pay $25 over and over and over to delay getting my cavity fixed.
this was my 3rd time, and I would not have remembered if last night at like 8:30 my mom texted me and said, "Are you coming home tonight or in the morning for your doctor's appointment?" And I had totally forgot about it. I said, "Is there any way we can cancel it?" She said, "No, it's your 3rd time. You have to go." So I had to fucking drive home last night at like 9 o'clock at night to get back so I could go this morning. It was It's the worst. Lewis is doing the same thing right now. Like he's kind of cleaning it up. He's got the greatest idea ever because he's been calling, trying to set up appointments all day, and he has this idea that you get senior citizens as like a concierge, and you just use the senior citizens home as like a concierge home because they're doing nothing. They're just sitting in their rooms bored, and you old lady, you set up my fucking doctor's appointment. You're doing literally nothing for the next until you die. Just
so like old people secretaries.
Yeah, exactly.
Personal assistant.
Love it, right? It's a great idea.
Love it. Love it.
Yo, the ideas that come out of Lou's brain, if we could harness this for the power of good, we could like change the world. But
What do you mean? We just did. We just did harness it for good. This is a great idea.
Yeah, it's absolutely genius. Old people need shit to do or else they die. We already established this. If they just sit around, they die. So be the person who deals with my $25 recurring charge when I don't show up to my dentist appointment. I actually would probably kill the old person just by not showing up, and they would keep thinking they fucked up. Like the dentist's office being like, "Hey, Dan didn't show up again," and like, "Oh shit, did I forget to tell him?" So maybe not a good idea for me. But for other people who are responsible and not afraid of, cavities, love the idea.
He was like he couldn't get anyone on the phone, so he's like trying to do work and trying to set up appointments, and he just keeps like slamming the phone. He's like, "My grandmother is doing nothing right now." And it's so true. That's like your grandma would fucking kill to have something to do. Like, yeah, Nana, just set this fucking shit up for me and let me know when I have to be there.
pitch that idea to Cuban, see what he says.
Fuck.
All right, that's the rundown. Peace.